Does that mean that Washington is abandoning Ukraine, or is it forcing Europe to finally defend its own security?
Look, in reality, if European governments truly want to offset US unreliability, they have the tools. So far, they have preferred managing the war rather than ending it decisively in Ukraine's favor. They talk about defending the rules-based order, but hesitate to make the most impactful steps to do that, in fact, such as fully unfreezing Russian sovereign assets and transferring them to Ukraine. Instead, they're hiding behind legalistic arguments and technical delays, hoping that US would continue to lead. Given that Washington is now taking a decisively transactional turn, Europe will either have to match its rhetoric with decisive action or watch its own security erode in real time. They can transform those hundreds of billions into a war chest for Ukraine's defense and reconstruction, depriving Moscow of resources while signaling to other aggressors that violations of international law carry permanent costs. So far, that political will has been absent. Without it, US-Russia negotiations become more plausible, leaving out not only Ukraine but Europe itself. Not because it solves the war, Putin is very likely to continue, including trying to erase Ukraine's Western alignment, undermining NATO cohesion, and forcing Europe into a subordinate energy and security arrangement. But because it would become the path of least resistance for leaders looking to claim peace without paying the price to secure it, and we know all who those people are. Uh, it is true that by cutting off large-scale U.S. assistance, Washington risks creating a vacuum that Moscow will exploit. But Vance is clearly also trying to pressure Europe into taking a lead in defending its own security.
Yes.
The problem is Europe's track record since 2022 shows that it can talk the talk with forceful speeches about solidarity and sovereignty, but when it comes to very decisive high-cost action, it's lagging behind. It has yet to actually address its own collective defense issues in a coherent manner for various reasons. Burdensome legal infrastructure is impeding innovation in that and many other regards, whether it comes to AI that's necessary for advancing weapons, whether it comes to integrating interoperability, whether it comes to investing sufficiently in its own defense. Europe overall, with the exception of Poland and a few other countries, is actually lagging far behind.
Yes.
And Vance's comments underscore why it should be an immediate priority.
Hmm.
Now, the bottom line is we are not sure just how clearly Europe understands the threat that's coming at them, because the perception across the European Union varies from a sense of immediate danger, like the Baltic states, who have been directly threatened by
Yes.
Putin, to Mediterranean countries that are further away and don't feel as much of a direct danger. And therein lies this incoherence.
Yes.